got A272. Been tasked with diagnosing and repairing why the high idle for power takeoff operation isn't working. And I thought this was a really cool opportunity to show. I'm gonna show all the techs if they have problems of certain things to look for. I'm not gonna go like crazy into how the system works, but just the most common failures and things to check. If you run into a problem you can't understand, you can always call me, you know that. Anyway, this system works very similar to cruise control. This wiring's getting cleaned up, by the way, though. Don't let that bother you. I take my wiring very serious. But the system works very similar to cruise control. Right now we have the truck running. Power takeoff is engaged. And we pulled up some codes. The first code was, I want to say it was P1708, and it was clutch input circuit error or failure, or I really forget how they worded that. That automatically made me kind of look at this guy. It wasn't even there. This is a brand new one I just pulled out of my truck. The wiring was cut for it. This is like what Asplund always did. They always, they put this wire in here. This one. And that's basically to do this and hold it down. It makes that switch close where those two wires are connected. The pigtail's gone, so I just threw some spades on it. Works pretty good. It's kind of out of the scene. It's like way underneath this clutch pedal up top. So it's kind of, the wiring doesn't have to be amazing on it. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna make it way better right now. So let's just run through this real quick. The most common failure you'll see is where the clutch pedal hits this, I wanted to call it like a term I probably shouldn't use, but hits this round thing that's shaped like a round thing. It won't be pushing it all the way, it'll just be pushing it a little bit. That tells me that this thing needs to go forward. Clutch is always like kind of wear, and this thing constantly needs to be adjusted. The spring kind of helps keep it home. It has to be fully depressed for this thing to work, or at least right there I could feel the contacts hit. You got a little bit of fudge factor, I guess, now I'm thinking about it anyway. So there's that. That has to be pushed, and that's hit by the clutch pedal up top. You'll see this switch hanging up there. Also, this guy, this is my brake pedal switch. They tied into it for, they got an electronic brake controller there. That's kind of where all this wiring got away from them. We need to clean that up. Nonetheless, the brake pedal switch needs to be in the not like pressed position. I guess that would be the normal position. And when you look at these connectors, you'll see one with 4 wires and one with 2. When this brake pedal switch is in the not pressed position, these 2 wires will be closed. They'll be connected to each other. So I just took this guy, DVOM, and confirmed that it was good. My idle still didn't work after that, so I was getting into the rarer ones. The first 2 things I showed you, probably the more common ones. Last one I check before I start going to Wire World is this guy right here. This switch right here connects to that guy right there. It's like my on-off and accelerator. All that stuff has to be working harmoniously for this thing to work. This was my failure this time because on this plug, and you'll see it sometimes, I don't want to take it off because it's working now, don't get me wrong, I'm putting a new one. I just kind of want to show you that it's working. It has like film on it and it scratches off. So in order for this to work, I want to make sure my brake pedal isn't being pushed. This thing is down, and with the power of my fluke meter, I want to confirm that I have 12 volts right there, so this thing should work. Let's see what we got. We got 12. So I just hit the switch. We idled up to 1400 RPM. Sounds healthy, sounds good. I'll show you in the reverse order how this thing has to work. So let's say the clutch pedal wasn't being pushed all the way. Oh no, it stopped working. Adjust the clutch pedal switch. starts working again just by activating it again. It'll drop down. It kind of has to find its home. This RPM has 2 settings. Let's say that this brake pedal switch wasn't working. This is exactly what would happen. It wouldn't work. So we'll go ahead and set that back to like the blah blah position. Fire this thing back up. Then we got this guy. Let's say it loses, it's messed up. It just turned off, if you could hear it. And let's look at this now. You see those metal things? Those look okay. What about this side though? Uh-oh, missing a little piece there. That's kind of what I'm fighting right now. Or I was, till I figured it out. First thing you want to do is scan it, see if you have codes, clear them. Repair it if you have to. Because the codes won't let it RPM up. Emissions ones, it won't matter. It's more codes that have to do with cruise control, like clutch pedal switch and so on and so forth. Yeah.